And I will stay here. I stay a bit away from you so that I don't infect anyone. And I also won't give my back to Peter or anyone because I got that little observation. It's like sometimes you're standing over there and people are just looking at your back. That's not the idea. I don't know. Anyways. We're going to talk today and next week about spiritual warfare. Now, and sometimes that sounds a bit creepy, and I am fully aware that in many places it has been explained a bit creepy. I'm going to try to normalize it as much as possible, because I believe that it's a reality that's out there, but it's not something to be afraid of. And as a matter of fact, the coming 2 weeks, today and next week, I called the lesson Clash of Clans. Now, some of you might know that game. Some of them are like, I don't know what it's about. Joshua said, like, yeah, of course I know that game. The idea behind it is obviously that there are two opposing parties having a brawl with one another. When I was, I think, a little bit younger than Rebecca, maybe no, Sarah's age, a little bit older, I was a very avid chess player. I played chess in a team, in a club, and I even had the chance to play one time against a world-renowned chess player. Obviously, I lost, but it's something that I really enjoy, and I don't do it a lot anymore. But sometimes I see a situation where my kids sometimes ask me, "Dad, can we play chess?" It's like, "Yeah, sure," and checkmate, dog. Yeah, Joshua's already looking like,
He always wins.
yeah, he always wins, it's not fair. I enjoy it very much because it's a strategic game where you really need to think certain things through. And it's a battle. Chess is actually a war, it's actually a battle. Let me ask you a question. Any of you had some, let's say, family night with board games or table games where, let's say, you did a checkers or Monopoly or what is the game called with the war that you need to conquer the world? It's called Risk, or there are different names for it. Any of you like to play those games? Just raise your hand. Yeah, some of us might not be so much into that. It's like, no, I don't know about that. The funny thing is sometimes a family night, what is supposed to bring the family together and it's everything very nice, can become literally a war room where people that are so incredibly competitive with one another start to call each other by, remember what you did last time, and so, all of a sudden it has nothing to do with the game anymore, and they are reminding each other of, all the dirty laundry and stuff. It's really, really amazing. As a matter of fact, I have such a person in my own family, my uncle, that was so incredibly competitive, like with a card game. I'm not even sure which card game. You knew, it's like if you wouldn't pay attention for 1 second on what he was doing, he would be trying to cheat or something because he couldn't stand losing. Any of you have a family member that is a little bit like that, in like competition and trying to win at all costs, as if it's a war that's on all the time? Yeah, some of you might remember a situation like that. It's funny, like this is obviously a funny situation. We play games and it's all good and it's all fun. But the reality of competition and things, opposing each other, it's something really, really real. I like movies quite a bit, and there are two particular movies, and I think I wrote it down even, that I like very much. Lord of the Rings, it's one of my favorite movies. I even watched all three of them, which in the cinema many years ago, and I was really amazed. I actually had read the novel afterwards, after the movies. It's like, and the novel is actually much better than the movie, to be really honest, but it's this thick that you need to go through. And it obviously depicts this war, this battle between evil and good. And I think that's one of those amazing stories. Some people like it, some people hate it. It's like, I couldn't care less about this type of movies. But I really thought it was amazing. Another movie that I saw, and it's again about good and bad, a war situation, was Saving Private Ryan. Any of you remember the movie Saving Private Ryan? It came out in 1998. I was still studying in Bible college back in Holland. And a friend of mine said, you want to watch a nice movie? He's like, yeah, sure. What's it called? Saving Private Ryan. I was like, what is it? A war movie. And I was a bit hesitant, like, war movies, like, okay, let's go. And I didn't know anything about the story, I hadn't read anything, and just went, it's like, it's a nice time together. And if you have seen the movie, you know the first scene, that is the battle, and where you feel like you're inside of a war zone. Any of you has seen the movie? Yeah? Now imagine if you see it actually in the cinema, with all the sound effects and everything, that you know, the effect is much stronger in that sense. And I never forgot watching that movie in the cinema in that sense. And it really caught my attention that war is a reality that's very brutal. I mean, sometimes you can be entertained by watching a movie, but I never forgot that movie. And I know the first 10-15 minutes I didn't feel anything but entertained. I felt I almost said, like, you know, I'm not sure if I want to continue watching this. In the end, we watched till the end, and I really liked it. But it was quite a strong story to tell, obviously. Now, why am I saying all of this? Very simple, because of this. I said to you, we're going to talk the coming 2 weeks, today and next week, we're going to talk about spiritual warfare. And you and I, right now, somebody might be drinking your coffee and chilling, and somebody might be checking the phone or that kind of stuff. But right now, you and I, we are involved in a spiritual warfare, in a war, in a fight. And that fight is on 24/7. 24/7. Every single day of our lives, whether we realize it or not, and I think most of the times we don't realize it, we are in a battle. And that battle is not like Risk or chess, or like a good war movie that you're watching. It's a very fierce fight that is going on. And we know that, okay, since we became a Christian, we know that the war, the fight between good and bad, has already been settled. And Jesus Christ has won that war on Calvary. When he died on the cross, he made actually death and sin a public spectacle. Everybody could see Jesus on the cross, and while people were laughing at him, making fun of him, thinking like, is that the Messiah? Is that the Son of God? Actually, he was showing to everybody, like, listen, this is how what sin actually looks like. But I'm willing to put that on myself so that you and I, we could be free. So in that sense, that could be called, remember Saving Private Ryan, that could be called D-Day. Everybody knows D-Day, 6th of June 1944, when they arrived in Normandy. And that's a great thing. We are celebrating, you and I, we are celebrating D-Day. We are set free. I'm talking a lot about it. But it does not mean that there is no fight going on. There is still a victory day coming when the entire curse of sin and what we see in the world, like last week we saw again attacks in the United States happening, and you don't need to put on the news to know that there is something wrong with the world. All right? So there is still a day awaiting. We can call it V-Day, Victory Day. Until that day, we are still in a fight, even though that the most decisive battle has already been won. All right? Because it's like this. Even though the enemy of our soul, Satan, has been defeated, and his fate, his destiny is sealed, it's a done deal, he knows he cannot fight God. He doesn't have the power to do it. And he knows that when you come to the Lord, that your salvation is secure in him. You don't need to be afraid. But he sure knows that if he can do something in your mind, in your way of thinking, that even though when you're saved, that you still can be struggling in big ways with, let's say, things of self-worth, self-esteem, condemnation, guilt, shame, and many other things. He knows that. He knows all of our weak spots. He knows where to touch a little button in my heart and in your heart. Because he has studied us from every day, from the day that we were born. And even though our new identity is now in the Lord, and we are really a new creation, it doesn't mean that there is not a fight going on. You see? And that's where people get a bit afraid, particularly Christians. This is like when you become a Christian, you automatically sign up for the army. Any of you has served in the army? Just raise your hands. Not a lot of people here. That's interesting. Well, me neither. For me, in Holland, it wasn't compulsory, so I didn't need to go. But when you become a Christian, you automatically become a target of the enemy. In the sense that he's trying to take away your confidence in the gospel, your self-worth, and so many other things. And becoming a follower of Jesus Christ, it means, first of all, that we die to ourselves. That's why we need to be born again. And we start picking up our cross and start following Him. We start to walk in the same footsteps of Jesus Christ. Alright? I have explained this over the last couple of lessons, so probably nothing new here in that sense. So, you and I, right now, and you might have experienced that today, that there was a situation that you thought like, you know, maybe that was an attack, something that happened in my life, and all of a sudden I started realizing that that wasn't just something normal, but actually something very spiritual going on. Your adversary tries to attack you every single minute. He tries. It doesn't mean that you will always be aware of it. It doesn't mean that he will always succeed in it. Far from that. But that's the reality. And I don't know about you, and I'm going to make 3 points. I don't know about you, but when we are in a fight, let's say you become a Christian and you want to follow Jesus Christ, the worst thing that you can do when difficult times knock at your door is that you start taking the fight personal. Have you ever heard somebody saying to you, oh, please don't take it personally? Any of you?
Yes.
Yeah? I'm not attacking you, I'm not attacking you. No need to defend yourself. I'm just saying something, and you took it sometimes totally the wrong way. People always say that. Oh, please don't take life too personal. I mean, life is already so serious. Why would you